Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining us. My name is Reen, and I am the account manager for Southeast Asia to US. As mentioned, I will be covering ABLE for this introduction to FBA session. Feel free to put in your questions in the chat box on Zoom, and if you have anything else, we can actually leave it to the end of the session where you will be able to switch on your audio, and then we can have this quick discussion before the end of today's webinar. So as mentioned, my name is Reen and I'm actually based in Singapore's office. We help sellers, we assist them for sellers who are from Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, Cambodia to sell on Amazon.com. This includes US as well as Canada and Mexico marketplaces. So going on to the next slide. Just to let you know, we will be covering the following topics today. We'll be understanding how FBA works, the benefits of FBA, how to leverage FBA during the holiday season, the fees and pricing related to FBA, and how to get started with FBA, such as creating shipments and using the Send to Amazon workflow. Next slide. So as you can see, next slide, please. Sorry, I think just previously. Okay, cool. So as you can see, for selling on Amazon, there's 4 main steps. Once you know what you are selling, you will actually go into sourcing your product, and you can utilize various tools for this, which we will also share later on. Once you're done, you need to move on to listing your products onto the Amazon Seller Central itself. After which you're able to decide how you would like to fulfill these orders. Do you want to do it by fulfillment by Amazon, or do you want to do it by fulfillment by merchant? That is also up to you. Lastly, step 4, we will start selling and utilizing merchandising tools for your products. And this is to make sure that there's movement for your products and you get sales. Some tools that we use for this are like merchandising tools, sponsored products, or brand registry, just to promote your SKU on Amazon. Here on this slide, you can actually see the differences between fulfillment by merchant, FBM, we call it for short, and FBA. If you choose to fulfill on your own, here are the following requirements. You can see that a lot of them are mainly self-handled, but if you choose to use FBA, Amazon will basically run everything on your behalf. This includes the process, the packing, the delivering, and answering all your queries and managing your return process. So basically, we take the lift of you doing things by yourself, and Amazon will do it on your behalf. FBA, for the next slide, is a 6-step process. So for these 6 steps, you need to know that depending on where you are based, whether it's Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, or where you are manufacturing from, for example, like China or your home country, this is all to be delivered to the US FBA warehouse. When you are done with this, we actually receive the goods, store it at the fulfillment center, and when a buyer orders, the fulfillment center will actually pack and ship your product while also handling your customer inquiries as well as returns and services. So more than 50% of SMEs in this region are actually using Amazon's FBA service, mainly because it's quite a seamless process and easy for them to get on board. For the next slide, we talk about the 4 main benefits of using FBA. So the 4 main things that we actually focus on is to save on fulfillment costs, and this is good because of the economies of scale. The second thing is we actually reduce risk and improve your store performance, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Late shipment will usually incur like a penalty on your store performance, and by using FBA, this is not an issue for you to worry at all because it is managed by the Amazon system itself. So it will not be a problem that you will encounter. You will also have a higher chance to win featured deal offers on the Amazon homepage, and this actually gives you better conversion rates as a seller. Lastly, because Amazon provides 24/7 service, you actually make sure that your customers are getting a good experience and that your inventory is still running even while you are on a break. Let's say you go on a holiday or you decide to leave the business for a while, it is still being managed by Amazon's end. For the next slide, here you can see some benefits of using Amazon. You actually get to save on shipping as well as focusing on your core business, because Amazon is the one that handles your shipping as well as your packaging costs. Shipping and packaging. So the only thing that you have to manage is using the FBA fees, as well as your account health metrics. We want sellers to make sure that they focus on their design, development, sourcing, and merchandising, which is the key things you need to focus on for your success on Amazon. For the rest of it, Amazon FBA will handle. In the next slide, we will be sharing about Prime eligibility. So Prime membership subscription is manual, and there are many benefits to this, such as your 2 days shipping, as well as movie subscription or Amazon Prime. So you're able to enjoy these benefits as an Amazon Prime member. Prime customers actually get to benefit from this 2-day shipping or same-day shipping. For example, now that I'm in Singapore as a Prime member, I can enjoy like shipping within the next 2 to 6 hours. Depending. I think I need to mute one of you. Okay, sorry. So going back to this. So with FBA, you're actually eligible for free shipping and all right, so for the next slide, we're actually going to be talking about access to millions of Prime customers. So like myself, I'm a Prime member. You're also able to actually get access to all these type of customers. And here you can actually see the workflow listing. You can see that when you are fulfilled by Amazon, the words will actually appear on your listing name. And you are also going to get that Prime badge, which is the orange tick with the Prime words that you see in the 2 boxes here. So this is an actual depiction of a seller using FBA. Next, you can actually see that by using fulfillment by Amazon, you actually have an increased chance to win a featured offer. So with featured offer, it actually appears on your page itself. And a common question that we get is, how do we increase the chances? So to increase your chances of getting featured offer, the criteria are sufficient order volume. So always make sure that you are in stock, because once you go out of stock, this will affect your placement of the feature. You need to make sure that you have good account metrics. So make sure that you are fulfilling your orders and getting good, doing good account servicing as well. Account servicing and managing your customers better. And most importantly, I would say at the end of the day, make sure that you have your stocks available. So Amazon does not guarantee your featured offer placement. The featured offer listing is actually being shared with other sellers. So based on the different variables that they look at, like I shared above, the placement will be rotated based on what Amazon deems to appear on the top based on the algorithm that we have in place as well. So please ensure that if you would like to win this featured offer on your Amazon page, to use fulfillment by Amazon. In the next slide, here are some stats of SMEs who are using FBA. It is definitely more than double. The next slide, please. So it has definitely more than doubled their export sales. And with the current pandemic, more and more people are staying at home, working from home. And this figure has definitely tripled or quadrupled. So you can be very sure that by doing your business on Amazon, there's definitely traffic that's coming to the site, and also you're getting the buyer base that you're looking for. So because it's constantly growing, it's something that you can consider to do as well. And to fulfill the demand, you're going to be using FBA. Here is a really key calendar that all of you guys as sellers need to focus on. These are the most important holidays in the US, and as you can see, it's pretty packed towards the Q4 part of the year. This is because we have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, Boxing Day, and New Year's Eve. All these key holidays are actually the peak period when shoppers are online and ready to buy. So you want to make sure that most of your stocks are already ready by then, and that your revenue will actually be the highest during this Q4 period. So it's important to make sure that you know these key dates and stock up well in advance. For the next slide, here you can actually see a timeline of inventory planning. So within 10 to 12 weeks, let's say Christmas, 25th December, you will need to make sure that you've already picked your products, sourced, and talked to your manufacturers, because that's when you need to make sure that your products are being developed as well. 7 to 9 weeks before, you'll be focusing on shipping your goods and that your logistic partners know which fulfillment center to ship the products to. So let's say you're doing it to US, make sure that they already set up the appointment well in advance of your shipment. While this is being shipped, 4 to 6 weeks beforehand, you will need to optimize your pricing, your product pitch, as well as your listing details. You want to make sure that you always plan ahead, because with the pandemic, there are unforeseen circumstances, and you want to make sure that because this will affect the supply chain, you are prepared in advance to ensure that you can overcome any obstacles that you will face. So generally, the rule of thumb I would share is prepare in advance and make sure that you already have enough shipment, let's say 6 weeks before like a key holiday period. On to the next slide. So now we'll talk about multi-channel fulfillment. So now that Amazon already keeps your goods in a fulfillment center, let's say in the US, you actually can use the multi-channel fulfillment feature on Fulfillment by Amazon, which allows you to actually sell on other marketplaces. So sites that are in the US, but you want to get fulfilled for Amazon FBA, that's still a possibility. And this will actually be very useful for your sales throughout the nation as well, because you're using different selling platforms. All you have to do is actually integrate multi-channel fulfillment, and last mile can actually be done from Amazon itself. Next slide, please. So how do we get started? There's a 6-step process to get started with FBA. The default is always fulfillment by merchant the moment your listing is up. So you need to make sure that you right-click on your listing and convert it to fulfilled by Amazon. Okay, and when you are done, you can prepare your products to be shipped. All you have to do is create a shipment and send your products to the desired fulfillment center that you want to ship out to. For the next slide, you can actually see the link to the Amazon revenue calculator. And this is the calculator you can choose to find out more about your net cost and profit. You can use the link that's found here or go on your Seller Central to find out more about it as well. Now we talk about the FBA fees. There's 2 main fees that you need to take note of when selling on Amazon. The first is actually your fulfillment fees, and the second is your monthly inventory storage fees. For the fulfillment fees, it is split by standard size or oversize, and for monthly, it is split by 2 periods, January to December, and for the second part, it's October to December. The cost of October to December, as you can see, is much more expensive because this is the peak period. I mean, it's the same when you pick your logistic or freight forwarders. The same applies when you're shipping your peak period. So I always encourage sellers to ship early in advance before this peak period so that you can avoid this type of fees. But just in case you need to replenish your stock, these are the fees that you will be encountering. Depending on where your volume and demand falls, you need to make sure that you have necessary supply of your products. So one example you can see here based on what category you fall in is for a t-shirt, you actually fall within the large to standard size. So this is about $3.68 US per unit. So you always need to make sure you understand the size as well as the cost of each product should you want to use FBA as well. Next, how to get started on Fulfillment by Amazon. So there's a few different steps. To summarize, as I shared earlier, you need to make sure that you are able to provide the free shipping. Here are the benefits of using FBA. You can actually get free shipping on eligible orders. So some of them can get like Prime 2-day shipping. Your Amazon.com sellers can actually get free shipping on specific eligible orders. You also get to take advantage of Amazon Subscribe and Save program, or FBA Small and Light, or multi-channel fulfillment. So there's actually different avenues that you can explore FBA with. And lastly, we provide lots of tools to manage your products. Of course, this comes at a fee, but you get services like preparation, labeling, repackaging, returns, and all this is through an Amazon partner carrier that we actually suggest to the sellers. So if you're already an Amazon seller, you can actually convert your existing inventory. So this is how you get started on FBA. All you have to do is go to your manage inventory page on the listing itself, change to fulfilled by Amazon, and under the actions menu, you can click convert only if you would like to do that. But if you're not ready to do your FBA shipment after the listing is up, just put to convert only. Don't do convert and send inventory. So those are some options that you can look at. Oh, I see some questions coming through. I'll answer them at the end of this session. Next, offering a product through both fulfillment channels. This is possible. This is also a question we always get. Can I do FBA and also FBM at the same time? Yes, you can do that. And this is a common thing that we actually get as well. You can actually offer one SKU through both FBA and FBM. So these are the steps on how you can do so. All right, so next we will share more about creating a shipment with the Send to Amazon workflow. So with Send to Amazon, you actually get to streamline your inventory workflow process. And this is what you can do. The first is you actually can make sure that you can save time because the shipments are created through the step-by-step process on Amazon FBA. You can actually create reusable case pack templates to fill in with your SKUs based on the box weight and dimension that you'll be shipping in. You can pack single SKU or mix SKU boxes before you create the shipment. So that's another option that you can look at. You can also choose what's the best option, whether you want to do small parcel delivery or full truckload delivery. That's something that you can choose as well. And lastly, you can actually compare carrier fees across different vendors as well. So this is something that you can choose to opt when you're on FBA. So this is a 5-step process, and how to get started in this workflow is number 1, choose the inventory that you would like to send. Step 2, make sure that you can confirm your shipping after you've already packed the individual units. After that, you'll be printing your box labels. This is either done on your end or our end, depending on the options that you have available. And then you will be confirming your carrier that we will be suggesting to you from our list of service providers. And lastly, it will be the print pallet labels so that when these shipments go out to the fulfillment center in the US marketplace, it's all very clear once it reaches the location. And this is only done through the Amazon Partner Carrier Program. Yeah, so that's about it for our FBA segment. Shared quite a bit about the workflow, and now we can actually go into some of the Q&As that you put on the chat box. I will be closing off this segment with like some frequently asked questions slide as well, so we can refer to that. Yes, there is a recording, and then we'll be sharing with you the video for this session after. Okay, so which marketplaces are available via multi-channel fulfillment? Are these applicable fees that sellers need to pay for? Yes, so there's like fixed the standard fees that you need to pay by using multi-channel fulfillment, and it's available in the US marketplace currently. Any other questions? And feel free. I'm very open if you guys want to switch on your mic and pull a question out as well. Otherwise, if you're not feeling too outspoken, you can also type your questions in the chat box. Yep. Let me see if there's any in the Q&A. No.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
I'm actually quite interested to know more about the fulfillment by a merchant because I know there's a FBA option.
Mm-hmm.
For the FBM option, right? How can we get more information on that? Or because I see that on your website right now, there is this free subscription that is for the Singapore sellers until the end of this year.
Yeah.
So this
So-
one is actually for FBA.
So the getting where do you see this
I think it's
sign
on
up?
the Amazon SG website.
Okay. So yes, that one is basically getting your Amazon account itself. So that should be until the end of this year. But if your question is more regarding fulfillment by merchant, right?
Yeah, correct. I couldn't find a lot of information on the website, so I wanted to see what are some of the requirements. If let's say the inventory is on our site, we have our own warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah, is there a standard requirement when it comes to when do we need to send out the goods?
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's a great question. So there is like a timeline that we provide. I'm just pulling this out for you. Let me see, merchant delivery fulfill network. Okay, let me give you the link for that in the chat box while I answer. So there are like several things that you need to take note of. I've put it into the chat below. And basically this webinar will share with you like what the benefits of using FBM and the timeline you're looking at, but you need to make sure that when the items reach, things like your labeling, things like the packing of your goods all have to fulfill within the Amazon's requirements as well. So you can actually get all the details in the webinar that I share below in the link in the chat box.
So for me to access the link, I must sign in with an account.
Yeah, are you a current account member yet?
No, not yet. Yeah, so I'm just thinking before I sign, just to get a couple of questions answered.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, I will be able to give you a public link now. Give me 1 second. Okay, because the website that if I give you will actually be FBA, and then it's like a small insert. They are mainly focusing on FBA. No worries. Let me get the YouTube link for this, and then after that I will drop you a contact. In the meantime, can you drop me an email and
sure.
to you? Yeah. Yeah. And all of you guys can put your question in this email just in case you're not ready yet as well. Let me put in the quick email here. 1 second. Okay. Here's the email. Let me paste it here. Okay, you can use this email, and you guys can put in your questions there as well. Any other questions? Okay, sure. Thanks, friend. I will drop you an email as well. So we have another question by Kimi. So for new sellers, if you use FBA and we, sorry. Okay, so for new sellers, if you use FBA and we do not know which product is popular, our inventory might be in the warehouse for a long time. So how do we address this? Do we use FBM? So there's actually an option to do the returns. So your inventory can be returned to you should you decide that you don't want to continue with this product. Of course, before sellers get started to sell on Amazon, my encouragement is for you guys to use tools like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout that can actually help you do a product analysis before you decide which product to sell, also based on the demand that's out there. So that's something that we encourage sellers to make sure they do before they get started. Just do their market research and make sure that when they are going to be selling the product, they know that they are selling the right type of product that has demand. But yes, other than that, if they stay too long in the warehouse, you will actually be triggered to do something about the stocks, and that would be either to do a returns back to you, or to actually use a multi-channel fulfillment, perhaps to channel your products into different storefronts. So that's something that you can decide to do moving forward. We actually have a tracking link for Helium 10. So let me give you the link as well, so you can use that too. Okay, so for the next question from Kalamba, hi, if I'm not yet shipping any products to Amazon, could I downgrade my account first so I would not be charged for the monthly professional fee? Then if I'm ready to ship, then it's okay to return. Yes, you can do that. So all you have to go is to your Amazon seller setting profile, change to individual, and then when you are ready, you can actually convert it back to professional. Just bear in mind, if you forget to convert it back to professional, you're going to get restricted in terms of your units as well as cubic meters for the size and volume of your products that you are shipping. So make sure you change it back to the professional setting. Cool, Kim got the link. All right. I don't see any other questions, but I will be putting the link for everyone to drop an email to me if you have any questions. And there will be a recording for this presentation as well. Some frequently asked questions, as you can see, are already on the screen available. So you can just let me know if you have any further questions on this.
Sorry, I have a question because I'm really new to this. I was hoping that you can share a little bit more. Because for, let's say, first-time sellers on Amazon Singapore, I know you have different costs, right? And I just wanted to clarify because, you know, there is this fee waiver that you actually put down until December 2022. So this one, is it a monthly subscription fee for anyone who is signing up to an Amazon professional account? So that's first layer, of course, right? And the second question is more about the plans you offer between individual and also between like this monthly cost that you have. I forgot whether it's $19.95 or $29.95. So could you talk a little bit more about that?
The $19.95, so there's a few different courses that you need to look into. So the professional fees is like $39.99 for the US, from what I understand, for the professional selling fees. Let me address your Amazon.sg.
On Singapore, for FBA Singapore. Sure. Yeah, if you could just focus on Singapore first.
Yes, okay, so as mentioned, I manage US at the start of this presentation, not Singapore. But with regards to Singapore related Amazon questions, I will be directing you to our Singapore team. But what I would say is that if you are under that Singapore 1 year subscription, basically you don't have to pay this monthly fee. It's kind of waived. But the fee that I'm talking about is for US, because this whole presentation is more related to selling from Singapore to the US. So let me see if I can direct you to the other webinar. There's a webinar that the Singapore team does that you can actually enroll in. That will be much more relevant for you.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, sorry. I'll go into the next question after I give this webinar. Sorry, I'm just like multitasking here. I'll send to everyone in the meeting, but this is for Amazon SG. There's a webinar, you can sign up there. Okay, so there's a question about, hi Amazon, I would like to ask about the shipping company that collaborates with Amazon, as now I'm stuck on the shipping side to customers. We manufacture in Malaysia and would like to expand to international markets via Amazon. Sure, so if you are already looking into planning a shipment, we actually have partners that we work with on Amazon. Unfortunately, to have access to these partners, you must already be a Amazon member. So this is the link that you will use. 1 second. We actually have quite a couple of service providers, and it is dependent on which vendor that you're looking for and the type of services. So to reply to one, let me see. Wang sure I've put in the link for the service providers that you can look into and the country you want to ship out to as well. No worries. Okay. I will be closing this session in about 3 minutes if there's no more questions. So I think I don't have any new questions coming in.
Sorry, one last question. Could you direct for new sellers if we are interested to know about the logistical process, like, you know, working with our suppliers to create an async, where can we go to?
Yeah, that's also on Seller University. It actually has videos and step-by-step instructions as well. So let me see. So, but you're not logged into Amazon yet, right?
Right. Yeah, I have not created an account. I'm really at the very beginning.
Okay, so let me give you the 50-day plan for new sellers to succeed on Amazon. I'll give this to everyone and then everybody can benefit as well. Here you go. This is the public link.
Thanks.
So this will detail like a step-by-step within your first 50 days. I think that would be very helpful for you. Other than that, there's also one more tool that I will put for everyone here. Once you have an account, you can use Seller University. This was actually referenced earlier. If you had questions on FBM, they were also on this link. So this is something that can help you guys succeed as a seller, because all the information you need is actually within this platform itself. Okay, I don't see any more new questions coming up. But I hope you guys learned a little more about FBA and selling through the US marketplace. Do remember that if you were to start your journey on Amazon, make sure that you are very clear with the type of goods and will put in the commitment and time, because this is definitely a journey that there's a lot of learning, but the benefits are also going to be something that you will really get to reap and enjoy at the end of the day. Yeah, so I wish all of you guys the best. And if any other questions, I'll see you in the next webinar. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.